Hi everyone, it's Marcy Denning here from Stampin' with Marcy. I am 1 minute early. Woohoo! I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I want to welcome you to my Facebook Live. It is Friday. I hope you all have had a fabulous week so far. I can't believe how fast the weeks go. It's just crazy. So anyhow, it's a very cold day here in southwestern Ontario. I hope wherever you are, you're staying warm, healthy, happy, and have a fabulous weekend ahead of you. Today I'm going to be creating a card, a variation of a card that I had created back in, I think it was in December, with the Don't Stop Believin'. Only today it's going to be with the Darling Donkeys. So please say hello when you join me. If you see a red live button up at the top corner, that means you are watching me live. If it's not there, you're watching the replay. If you're on YouTube, you are definitely watching the replay. Please say hello when you join me. Let me know where you're coming from. If you're watching on YouTube, please give me those thumbs up. YouTube, the algorithms really like that. That's the way they get my videos out to reach more people. Please share my videos. Sharing is caring, and it's how I reach more crafty friends. Okay, so I'm going to flip you around. Hold, please, while we have you looking up there. You can see outside. It's been lightly snowing on and off this morning. Well, actually, we are now this afternoon. So, let's see here. Get all tightened up. I think I'll have to adjust slightly. So, Darling Donkeys, this adorable stamp set is one you can get for free with a qualifying purchase. Hello, Cindy. Thanks for joining. Hello, Anne. Thank you for joining. Oh, we are not tightened. What's going on here? You almost went for a big swing there onto the... It's still... Oh, my goodness. Is it going to be one of those days? Now I'll never be able to untighten them because I've tightened it so much. All right, let's see how far down are you going to... Let me just adjust this. It's going to be a day, guys. It's going to be a day. Let's see. All righty. I do apologize for the glare. All right, off of my stamp case. There, I think we are looking good. All right, so this fabulous set, I have done a couple cards with it so far. I'm going to be using this stamp here, the Happy Kicking Donkey. I called her Gertie. It seemed like a awesome, fun name. So she is Gertie, and she is so excited to be celebrating your birthday that she is swinging. She's gotten herself all tangled up in the balloons. So this is another one of my swinging cards. So fun. The balloons are punched out using the balloon bouquet punch from the annual catalog. This has been in the catalog for a very long time. And my frame that I have die cut is just the two dies together to make that frame. This is the stitched rectangles dies. So, and then of course I had to fussy cut Gertie because there is no die for that. So yeah, she is a super fun card, and I have a few male birthdays coming up in our family, the beginning of February, the middle of February. So this card here is perfect. I kept my colors gender neutral, I'd like to say, with the Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Balmy Blue, and Poppy Parade. So let me just bring you up on my iPad here. Make sure my volume is down. And I've already punched out and I sponged these 3 balloons here. I sponged the ink on it just to give it a bit more depth to it. And my colors are Basic Gray and Daffodil Delight. So let's move this to the side. All right, we need a piece of the thick Basic White. And we are stamping Gertie in Basic Gray, and then we are going to be coloring her in with the Gray Granite Stampin' Blends. Hello, Anita. Thanks for joining today. All right, so we are just going to stamp right in the center. There we go. Close this up just for a moment. Now, all of the measurements will be on my blog about half an hour, 40 minutes after the live is done. So next we're going to take just a scrap piece of my Daffodil Delight, and I am going to punch out. Let me make sure it's the smaller balloon. I needed to make sure that I was punching out the right size. So 1 and 2. All right, get that garbage out of the way. Put that aside. And then I just have a one of our Stampin' sponges. It's stained because I use it quite frequently. I just rinse them out in the... Hello, Amy from Alberta, Canada, another Canadian. I imagine out west, Alberta, you must be quite chilly right now. I imagine chillier than we are here in southwestern Ontario. Hello, Judy. Yeah, today it's, what is it right now? -3 feels like -10 or something like that. It's chilly. It is chilly. So I'm just dabbing my sponge. This is my sponge I've cut. They come larger, and then I just cut it into 4. But see how it just adds that little bit more detail to that balloon. Okay, almost done this part. All right, and we're just going to close that up and set that aside. And let's get to coloring. We want to do that, get that done because I have to fussy cut. So I have my light and dark Gray Granite and my light Petal Pink, and then I also have my color lifter, although it doesn't really matter if I'm going out of the lines too much on this because we're fussy cutting. All right, so I am going to just add a little bit on Gertie's hooves, and then around her little mouth, her little lips, they're going to be a little pinky. She's got some rosy cheeks, and then her inside of her one ear. Okay. So next we've got, that's the dark, that's the light. We are going to come in, and because I've already colored her hooves with the added a little bit of the petal pink, it changes the tone of the light gray granite so that you can see there. It gives it just a bit more of a blush. Feels like -10. So about the same then. That's surprising. I would have thought that it would have been just a smidge cooler there. But yeah, it's very cold here today. I don't think I'll be walking outside like I did yesterday. I think it might be a walk on the treadmill kind of day. And then I'm just going to come in here as well and color over that. See how it just changes? You can still see a little tiny bit of that blush color in there. All right, so next, I wanted to get those done first. So now I'm going to come in with my dark gray granite, and I'm going to come around her nose and mouth there and add some dark. Her little tuft of hair there is going to be dark, as well as up here, coming up into that ear there. And her mane, her tail, and her leg here, because it's underneath, is all going to be dark. Where it would be kind of a shadowy. You don't have to add any dark really at all to your animal images if you don't want to. You can leave them all light. All right, so is that, maybe bring some down here. All right. Hello, Jeannie, how are you? All right, so now we're going to come in with our light, and we're just going to lightly go over where that line is so that we blend it. You don't want to go over it too much and oversaturate, because that's when you get the bleeding. And I always turn my project, whatever it is I'm coloring, I turn it so that the area that I'm coloring is closer to me, so I have better control, especially when I've got my phone on the mount in front of me, blocking a bit of my view. All right. I color in a circular motion. That's just what I like to do. I don't think that there's really any hard, fast rules. Not in my world anyway. I do what I like, what feels right for me. That's the beauty of paper crafting. So how many of you guys have this donkey or have plans of getting the darling donkeys? They are so adorable. They certainly are darling. All right, so I think she looks pretty darn good. She's a cutie. So there we go. Thank you for sharing. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Diana. My friend Diana, she is a coloring whiz. All right, so now we are going to fussy cut out. So I am taking it down so that it's a much more manageable size. And then I'm going to come in and I'm just going to leave a bit of a halo around the image as I'm cutting. And I'm not taking my scissors up off. I am turning my cardstock as I go around. All right. You can leave as much or as little of a border as you want. When you're doing it in front of a camera, though, or a phone, it is a little trickier. Okay, something is going on with my... Amy has this set. Something is going on. It's showing me my last week's, or my earlier. That's so strange. My iPad flipped. I went to look at my iPad for comments, and it was Monday or Wednesday's live. So I don't know what the heck that was all about. Technology. Sometimes, I tell you, it's just crazy. Alrighty. And we are just turning to go around her jaw. It's kind of like peeling an apple or an orange when you try to get one huge piece. Yeah, then you can always come in afterwards to tidy it up, so to speak. If you've got an area where you've got a bit wider than you had hoped for. But as soon as I saw this set, I knew that I was going to recreate that card that I had done with the elf, because, oh my goodness, it's perfect, this donkey. She is just absolutely right for a swinging card. And we're almost done, and as you see, it really did not take too much time at all to fussy cut. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. And I like to go over, I don't want to snip off her little tufts of hair on her little back there, so I go up little bumps around that. And in the tail is where it's going to be the trickiest. And you don't have to go up into the tail if you don't want to. I'll show you. You could just come around like this and then straight down to her hooves, and then out and around, and then up and like that. You could leave it just like that. However, I would like to come in here, and I'm going to come up that loose hair there, Come up around. It's going to be very tight, but it is doable. Now I do have to admit I do have a bit of an unfair advantage. Back in another life, I used to do hair cutting for my job. I hold my hairdressing license. However, I do not practice it. So that's why I am very comfortable with fussy cutting things out. But I know you can do it with a little bit of practice. So I just want to come in here and just nip off. So I'm just going to kind of bend the tail up just slightly. And I'm going to come back in and nip that off so that there's a bit more of a gap there. So there we have Gertie. She is all fussy cut out. She is so cute. Okay, so I have already gone ahead and die cut my hole. I used the all dressed up die. So this button die here, that is right here. Now I have my, remember this? So this is what your swinging mechanism is going to look like. So depending on how high or how low what you're attaching your image to is what you're going to do for your, where you're going to put your hole. And because my elf was higher, I want my donkey, she's going to be a little lower because she is going to be attached to the balloons. And I want a bit of room here for this string. This string is kind of tricky to attach. I found a little finagling. So, but yeah, so once I figure out how she's going to be, then I'm going to come back in. Because she's going to be like this. See, here's my hole. So her body is going to be right there, covering. And I want my hee-haw and my it's your birthday. I want them to be so that it's up here and down here. So we're going to ink that up first. So just making sure that yes, Gertie is in the right spot. So, hee-haw. Let's put this on my lines of my grid paper. Get that lined up. Oh, I can move you up just a bit so I'm in better camera view. All right, so hee-haw is going right here. And then it's your birthday is going to be right down here because she is kind of like yelling it out. Hee-haw! Okay, so, and then we've got our Daffodil Delight. And we are going to, with the little starburst, we're just going to go around like that. You could do more, but I wanted it more as a little bit of a like a diamond pattern type of thing. So next up we have our base. And what did I do with my bone folder? Here it is. All right, so we have our base, which is the thick basic white, and it is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then this piece here, we are now going to take our frame, and we're going to glue that on. I think it just finishes it off better to have that. So now yeah, I'm okay. Because this is so thin, I don't want to get a glue all over my fingers. So this is where applying your glue, and I like my liquid glue for this because it's going to give me a little bit of wiggle room if I have not quite got it, that frame on straight. So I'm just taking and turning. So I'm not reaching too much, and it's just a very thin line of glue. All right. Then we're going to take our frame and go right over top. And see, because it's the liquid glue, I've got a moment to scooch that down. Sometimes you have to scooch it over. If you haven't stuck it down quite right, you can flip it over to make sure that you are all covered. And then give that a nice little press. Okay, so then we've got just a strip of cardstock. Now, because I'm lower, this is going to have to come down a smidge. This is just an offcut. So let's straighten that out. I'm just going to angle cut the side so that it doesn't catch on anything. Then, now, sorry, the adhesive, foam adhesive sheets is what I'm using because I want a round foam dot, and we don't have a round one. Stampin' Up! Does not sell round foam dots. They are like a hexagon type. So this is the 3/8 of an inch punch. Sadly, this retired years ago, but I still use it because it's the perfect size, because you want it slightly smaller than whatever it is your die cut hole. So this is just a hair smaller because you want it to be able to move, that pendulum. You want it to be able to swing back and forth. So we are going to put that aside for the moment. And we are going to now take our balloons and we're going to line them up along the frame. I want them to cover the top of the frame, and I thought that five was a good number. It's an odd number. We like more odd rather than even. So, and then the center balloon here is going to be popped up with dimensionals. So I want to, as much as possible, I want to cover that top. So little goes a long way. And I'm going to turn that so that as if it's in the bouquet. And then we're going to go with the two outside first. So this uses all older, especially this balloon punch, older products from the annual catalog. Don't forget about all those fabulous things that you have possibly sitting in your drawers on your shelf. Pull them out and use them. They get lonely. And Sale-A-Bration doesn't matter where you order from. whether it be the annual catalog or the new mini catalog or the clearance rack. Every $60 before tax and shipping is going to get you that free item. So this is the persnickety part. All right, so I am going to take, here we go. I've got my tear and tape. I don't think I put this on my supply list. Oh, that's too long. So let's, just to help hold it in place. And I'm not going to peel that backing off. I just want to hold that there. All right. And then stick that. Another thing that, don't forget the silicone craft sheet. If you don't have one, oh my gosh, you need it. I love it. All right, so then my dimensional is going to go right there. And my balloon is going to sit right in the middle. You could do a whole whack of strings, but I didn't want to fuss with that. So now we are going to, oh, where's my penny? I have a penny somewhere, oh, there it is, on my table. So I'm going to attach a penny to the bottom of this. So I need my glue dots, which, here they are. Now I'm going to need a couple glue dots because they're tiny. So because you want to have your penny. We don't use pennies here in Canada anymore. It's kind of a weird thing if you ask me to get rid of, but whatever. I'm going to put 3 on there, and then I am going to take and stick that to my penny. A mini dimensional might work. You just need 2 circles that are, you might have to, or you could take and cut the hard edges off of your hexagon shaped regular. Like if you were to come in and kind of round, use your scissors and round it as best as you can because it's so sticky. If you were to come and round it around, now this is not going to be a great circle because cutting a circle is kind of like, what? But you know what I mean? That may work. So, yeah. It's just your hole needs to be slightly larger than your foam dot. So then you're going to, let me just, yeah, that. So the penny goes on, the penny is facing out so that it's coming like this, going like that. So we need to take our adhesive sheet thing off, stick that on there, and then that pops through just like that. And let me show you how, if I was to hold it down, you can see that it is just ever so slightly, like it moves back and forth. It's just ever so slightly smaller. All right, so Gertie needs to get on here. So we are going to take, that's, whoops, my finger got stuck. The dimensionals are really, they love nail polish. All right, so we're just going to stick that on there. And then because of that, I'm just going to take a dab of glue. All right, and then Gertie's bum is going to get attached just like that. Give it a moment, give it a press, and there she goes. She is all swingy, and my string, I kept it fairly taut so that it would not get tangled or anything. Originally I tried wrapping it around her tail, but it really bent that tail. So I was like, nope, this is gonna stay just as it is. All right, so now we are going to, I'm gonna take this and stick it back on here. Waste not, want not, right? So now this is where you come in with your foam adhesive strips. These are perfect for making shaker cards and things like that. So you want to build up, let's take this one first. A long one. You want to build up your back so that there is room for that pendulum to swing. So and you want on the sides, you want to come as far over as you can without going off, because you want room for that to come over far enough. You don't want it to be in so it stops it. I hope that makes sense. And you can just, because we are not keeping any sprinkles, any sequins or anything like that. So it doesn't matter if there's gaps. It's not like a shaker card where you're having to keep your little goodies inside. Okay, and then we need a little piece here because I don't want any sagging. So we are going to put, because sagging will affect the pendulum swinging motion. So we're just going to put one more here. So that should be good. Now, the trickiest part I always find is now attaching this baby to the card base. It's sometimes it's hard to get it so that it's nice and even and straight. All right, so I'm actually going to open this up so that I can see totally where the top is. Whoop, that could have been not good. All right, so now we are just going to I'm going to go with my tippy toes to make sure I'm up high enough. I think I should be fairly even, and my string could have been just a tad. I wonder if I can pull this up. I think it's a little too taut. Can pull this down just slightly, because I was noticing it did not want to swing very freely. So if it's got a little bit, it's going to swing better. So there we have, she swings away just like that. There we have our fun swinging pendulum donkey card. She is so excited. Hee-haw, it's your birthday. So, I hope you like that. I hope you try making a pendulum card. This Gertie here, Gertie number 2 is a little lower than Gertie number 1, but I think she's so sweet. You are very welcome, Amy. It looks harder than it is, really. Now, if this was my girlfriend Diana doing it, she would take that white gel pen and mark up all those balloons, all pretty, but I'm not Diana. I'm not great with that gel pen. I'm working on it. Amy, I am in Strathroy, Ontario. I am in between Sarnia and London. Small town, about 15,000 people. Hello, Melissa. Thanks for joining. Whereabouts are you in Ontario, Amy? So I'm just going to wait a moment to see if there's any other questions, because there's always that delay. You grew up in Milton, but now you're in Edmonton. Thank you, Jeannie. You love the card. I know Milton. Drive through there on the way to Toronto back before all of this stuff happened. Pandemic. I used to love to go shopping at Yorkdale Mall in Toronto. So my sisters and I would do a girls' shopping day where we would head in, and we always knew Milton. Milton was the area that you had to be through before a certain time if you didn't want to hit the traffic. So thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Judy. Yes, so cute and easy. So I really encourage you to dig out things like that balloon bouquet punch. This is a very, goodness, how old is that punch? 4 years it's been in there. It is, yeah, so much fun, especially because it has the 2 different sizes of balloons. Jeannie, I am looking forward to tomorrow's Hello Dear Friend class as well. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So I am going to say goodbye. Have a great rest of your Friday, whatever it is you might be doing. Have a fabulous weekend, everybody. Stay safe, stay warm, stay creative. I hope you get some time to craft. And I will see you Monday morning at 10 a.m. All right, that's it for now. Bye.